Peace, peace. What's happening, everybody? It's a little dark in here. I guess if I back up some, people can see. How's that? Is that a little better? I don't know. Thank you for catching the live. Thank you for catching the replay. I appreciate it. You don't really have to like see me for whatever. But I just want to say I appreciate everybody for tuning in to Zoom in. Whoops, wrong man. Thank you. All right. And I want to talk about altars tonight. I had a good conversation with my teacher last night, Dr. Mitchell Gibson, on his radio show on KCAA. And I had a question about altars and just some realizations from doing altar work. And so I wanted to come on and give some feedback about what I learned last night and a little bit about what I know about altars, because I have been getting questions from people like a long time. And in my coaching process, I feel that everything starts with the mind first. You start from the top and work down. And I'm always asking people about, people are always coming to me looking for a solution for difficulties. And so one of my first questions is, what does your altar look like? You know, and so tonight I just want to just talk a little bit about altars. So I appreciate everybody for coming. Thank you for sharing. I really appreciate it. Catching a replay. Abdul Kul Tafalatat, Wabazun, Gama Faragun, Shalel Kulun. I am in the love of all, and all love is in me. I am a part of all, and all is a part of me. I am one with all, and all is one with me. I can succeed as a part of all and fail as an individual. I can be all that I wish in all, as long as my wish is to stay in all. I am never alone. All is, I am. All can, I can. All does, I do. Istanjay Ilaku. So normally, I hardly ever do. I appreciate everybody for sharing a video. I normally do not do videos in here. This is a very private place for me, but I wanted to. And super, to be honest, the mosquitoes outside was like crazy, and I was like, well, obviously, just use it as a sign to be where I need to be when I do this broadcast. Happy birthday, Adrian. What's happening? Happy birthday. Team Leo is in the building. And I was like, well, I want to talk about this subject, and somebody else may want to hear it. All right? So I definitely appreciate you for tuning in and zooming in. An altar. What is an altar? Why do you need one? What's the science on it? Do you need one? Why or why not do you need an altar? So I probably want to start with what is an altar? And if you have a question about an altar, all you gotta do is just type it in, all right? Most of the times when you think altar, you think like a church, or you think a big shrine, or you think, you think of a church, or you think of a shrine. You don't normally think of a person's house having an altar in it. Or if you see an altar at someone's house, you might think, ooh, they're into voodoo, or woody, woo, right? So, and there's nothing wrong with if they into voodoo or woody-doo or magic or whatever. But an altar, I used to think it was just like, man, it's just a reference point, you know, and I wasn't wrong, because there's so many levels to when you are learning things, right? So what I have found out today is that your altar is living. Your altar is a living, breathing thing that is an extension of you. Your altar is living, breathing, and it is an extension of you. But you need to look at it like the switchboard. So you remember the switchboard that they had on Beverly Hillbillies, where you would call up and be like, hey Betty, can you put me in contact with Joe? And they say, hold on for a second. They pull the switch out and put the switch in. They say, ring, 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 ring. They say, hey, Joe, Kyr's on the line. He wants to talk to you. And then Joe says, okay, Betty, put him through. Kyr, I got Joe on the line. Joe, here's Kyr. And then they put the switch in, and then they go on to connecting calls. An altar, to me, is a switchboard. It's an extension of you, and it's a switchboard between you and the gods. And the gods are, they can be your ancestors. Well, your ancestors and the gods. Let me say that. I don't want to say your ancestors are the gods. All right? But they are all parts of you. They are still all reflections of you. Your ancestors are reflections of you. Every part of your body needs your own assistance. Your ancestors need your assistance. The gods will come in and assist you based off of worthiness. You can't just build an altar, drop a statue up there, and then the gods come in and be like, oh, Kanye put my statue up, now I work for him. I just do that. It doesn't work like that. But we're going to get to that piece in just a second, okay? Your altar is also a tool. So if I don't take care of my tool or something that is an extension of me, then how can I help me? How can I help me if I'm not helping an extension of me? Don't you cut your fingernails? Don't you brush your teeth and pick your nose and clean your ears with Q-tips and, use soap to wash your body? So the altar is an extension of you. You got to keep the altar right too. You can't just be doing whatever, right? So, and I'm going to get to my question that I asked Master about yesterday on the radio, about my ancestors on your altar. So, and when can they come off your altar? So I've been doing I've been working with candles for a long, long, long time. And had a better knowledge. I came into a better knowledge. Man, I've probably been dealing with altars probably since 95, something like that. Yeah, something like that. 95, maybe before that. But I think, and then 2001, I went to see the witch doctor, and he's a brother from Haiti, and he was like, yo, the gods, they need their own space. And so every time I have moved, I've tried to have it where they had their own space, but not like a closet where they're shut up, but where they, it's like their room. You know what I'm saying? And so in 2001, I think like that was like probably one of my supreme spots that I have ever had, as far as like the effort that I really put into that particular altar room and shrine. Like, I think I really went in on that one. But yeah, but then now, here I am now. I came into this house, I think I've been here like 4 years, and this was a sunroom. It still is a sunroom. And I was like, whoa, this is their space. And all the things that are in here now, I did not just move from one place and then move in and then everything was here. I just moved the altar from another place. It definitely did not go down like that. Some construction has always been continually going on. So your altar will continually be under construction, and it'll be guided by the energies that you are dealing with while you are rocking with your altar. Okay? The energies in here, they guide me. I'll be somewhere, and then I might get something and come back, and it be a space that I'm putting it in, and then I'll be like, wow, look how you just fit right there. And I know there's no way in the world that I could have come up with that. No way. I don't ever try to take credit either for saying, "Oh, it was my ideal." I'm talking about the smallest of things. Like, this is an oil, right? And I've had this bottle probably since 2009. I've had this bottle for a long time. And inside of this bottle are four-leaf clovers. And I got this from Sister Myra on my birthday. Now, I have made another oil in here, but I've used the base of what was in here and this bottle, not over and over, because I think this is only the second mixture that's ever been in this bottle. It's some potent oil. I don't use it a lot, and it means a whole lot to me. But it sits, like, even where it fits right now, boom, like, it's like, it just sits there so perfectly. And I had this bottle before I had this table or this particular altar that's sitting right beside me. So in this room, there are 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 6 altars in this room. Right behind me is my main altar, okay? If you get this book, Discovering Your Spiritual Parents and Building Your Spiritual Altar by Mitchell Gibson over at Tybro.com, you can go over and just click on books, type tybro.com. It talks about the importance of the altar being, of the gods being above your head. So when I first started, I didn't think that had any relevance to me. But I thought I was looking down at them. And I'm supposed to, if I'm looking up to them in reverence and trying to call them down, why am I looking down to them? And so I went up. And I'm telling you, the day I went up and put the effort in, I went and got a bookshelf from IKEA. I put it together. And when I went up, everything else started going up. And it's been going up since. Take the gods and put them above your head. So it's gods, then the ancestors, then you can come down and start putting the secondary food, primary food, whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop, whichever way you're going to design it from there. Now, you may not have a bookcase. You may not have an entire room, but you can put an altar up by just putting a shelf. You can just put a shelf up on a wall and then go, all your 4 elements, fire, earth, water, and air, which is candle, water, food or plant, and your incense or something that represents air. All right. So I want to stay on track of what I was saying. Somebody said something here I wanted to. When we guys, you archetype energies right. I don't know what you mean, Darden Soa Jr. When we gods, I don't know. You have to repeat what you mean. So, I've done a lot of work with my altars, even up till today, right? And so this kind of video, even though I've been talking a while, I just want to give y'all some tips that you can use in your altar session. And then if you have any in your altar room, you got any questions, then you can just put that up there. Thanks everybody for sharing the video. I definitely appreciate that. One thing is the tone of the altar room. It's important that it's clean. It's important that it's clean. And you can't clean it every day. You can't clean it once a month. But if you don't let it get dirty, you don't have to worry about it being dirty in the first place. If you clean as you go, you don't have to worry about it. All right? So that's first tone right there. You don't want food to start rotting on your altar or staying too long or anything like that. That's not a good look. It's not a good look. It messes with the energy of your altar, which is an extension of you. When we're talking about gods, we're talking about archetype energies, right? No. I'm talking about actual gods. I'm talking about like the god Thoth, the god Hanuman, the god Ganesha, the god Lakshmi, the Jade Emperor. I'm talking about actual gods. I'm not talking about figments of no imagination. I'm talking about real deal beings. Okay? That's what I'm talking about. I'm not. If I meant archetypes, then I would say that. I'm on break from my mindfulness class right now. Well, thank you for joining me. I appreciate it. But it's important that you understand an altar is a communication tool. So in communicating and using your tool A lot of people be like, well, what other tools do I need? What kind of tool can I get to do this? What kind of tool can I get to do that? What kind of tool can I get to do that? Well, your first tool is your altar. Do you have a base of communication? Everybody wants a shortcut. They want to get a medallion. Will this medallion do this for me? Will this medallion protect me? Can I get woo 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 woo? Do you have an altar? It's the base. It's how we enhance the conversation. When I bring in altars, when I bring in medallions or other pieces or stuff like that, or offerings, they're going through the altar. It's a communication device with my highest self, and the gods, and my ancestors. It's where I say I get the memo. People say, "Oh, he didn't get the memo." Well, I'm getting the memo at my altar. So if you're not working in front of your altar, how are you gonna get the memo? Like, so much dedication and sacrifice goes in and dedication and sacrifice helps build energy. And so it's a tool that holds energy. Can you pray without it? Yes, you can. Is it mandatory? No. Prayer is not mandatory. Brushing your teeth is not mandatory. Wiping your butt is not mandatory. But boy, is it good hygiene. Having an altar is good spiritual hygiene. Yes, and it's very healthy. It's very healthy for the mental. It's very healthy for the body. It's very healthy for your finances. You know what? I be getting tired of people who always be talking about spirituality and be scared to talk about money. Money! Money, money! Money, money! Hey, money, money! Money, 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 money! Money, money! See, in my altar room, we can talk about money. It's not a problem. We can talk about money in here. Nobody in here is ashamed of money. Every entity in this room wants me to be prosperous and wealthy. Money, 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 money. Hey, money, 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 money. Man, listen. I don't know why, but if I got a communication device that's going to get my highest self right and my ancestors, then why wouldn't I want to talk about money? Ancestor money on deck at all times. Yes, I do sell ancestor money. You know what? But when I started with the ancestor money, I didn't have all these bills. Nope. When I started with ancestor money, I didn't have any of these. And I'm going big denomination down to small denomination. All I had was these, the $10,000 bills, the tiny ones, And now I am selling ancestor money. I'm a supplier of ancestor money. Never in my wildest dreams. Ancestormoney.info if you want it, if you need some. But I was like, what? It's the home of spiritual intention. Woo! But it's not just the home of spiritual intention. It's the switchboard. It's the switchboard for your communication device to communicate your spiritual intentions. Very good, Usef Natir Bey. It's the switchboard for your spiritual intentions. If I don't have a place to focus my spiritual intentions, they won't be razor sharp. But then, when I started bringing in the ancestor money and burning it before my altar, or burning it outside, if you want to call it nature's altar, all of a sudden I started getting bigger bills. That's 10 million. I think this one is 1 billion. 500 million. 8 billion. 5 billion. 1 billion. I think this is 200 billion. And I got bigger bills. And I said, man, where all this money started coming from? My PayPal started changing. Everything started switching around. But it was because I was concentrating. So, some other tips that I want to give you. But remember first, please just put your altar is a tool. The altar is a primary spiritual tool. And like Miss Kathy said last night, a lot of times the things that you're trying to get done through or things that are happening bad to you, they're happening to you because you don't have an altar. You could alleviate so much stuff by just putting an altar up and just sitting down for 5 minutes and just, bruh, it do not have, and it can be portable. So I want to talk about the portability. So over at tybro.com, they just came up with a portable spiritual altar that comes in a bag that you can just put your food on, your candle, your water, and your incense, and then you right there. Another thing is music. So this is a speaker that I have that has it's Bluetooth capable, but it also has a thumb drive. And I got this idea. From the meditation room at the Tybro Center. It's always playing the miracle prayer. And so I was like, wow, I want to have the miracle prayer playing, all the time around me. And I even have a speaker that I take with me when I go places. So when I go on a trip, this is in my bag. This one never leaves this room. I bought this one for this room. It has plenty of volume. Oops. It can get as loud as I need it. I mean, it's got plenty of volume, and it plays around the house all the time. So the energy, not only in here, has a tone to it, but the energy in my house has a tone because it can go out the door. You can hear it like in other places when somebody comes in, but it plays low though when I want to play it low. And there's different tracks on here. There's definitely no profanity. I got happy tunes on here. I got meditation tunes on here. But I highly recommend that in your altar space, you get something that you can that can just play music like all the time and let it run. Turn it down low and just let it run. It will set so much of the tone in
the
here.
The Blessed One recommends that one is to follow the path.
So a lot of the things that I have the audio that I hand-pick that I want to put on here. Who got this? Bringing the music. So I'll turn the volume down on that and just let it play. So when I'm coming here meditating, I'm not disturbing that. It's not disturbing me. But Crystal, there's a place they sell. I can't find them anywhere online, but I know the spot that has them like on the street. So I get them from these dudes on the street, but I know where it's at. So if you want one, just inbox me and then I'll go get one. They're like $40, and they come with the cord and the plug. So just inbox me and then I go down there and get it for you, and then send me your address and then I'll mail it to you. So I guess it's $40, then the shipping will be $5. I don't know. Just if you want something like that, just let me know. But anyway, the thing about an altar is you got to be happy when you go in front of the altar. So this type of music keeps me happy. So whatever my mood is when I come in, my mood is enhanced by coming in and hearing tones that I've selected that I know that are good for my soul. Because even the music is a tool. I got some Luther Vandross on here too, because I know my grandma likes Luther Vandross, or she likes that song that I play for Luther Vandross. And then I can, and when I sit down, I'm just like, wow, it's no coincidence that I came in and this is playing. Is the Releasement CD playing? Is the is the Divine Breath playing? Is the Arigato Yamutsu playing? Is the Usnisa playing? And to me, you can like really feel a different dynamic when you have that tone that's being set by the music that's being played, right? There's no cursing in this room. There's no shoes, and and it has its own door, so you have to knock before you come in. And so even Gabriel, the 4-year-old, just comes, and when he comes in, he knocks. So the day I was outside trimming up, like right in front of because it's a screen door. I mean, it's a sliding door right behind, and I see Gabriel standing in the window. And I was like, did you knock on the door? He was like, shoes off. I said, well, while you in there, won't you sit down and meditate? Boom. He sat down. He was facing that way, of course, because that's where the altar is at. And he was getting his meditation on. And I was just like, man, to have an altar space where a 4-year-old can come and sit down and be comfortable coming in and following protocol, and like that was just like, my heart was at joy as I was outside cleaning up. Because when you knock, if you was coming in somebody else's place, when you show respect, do people just walk in your house? Do they ring the doorbell? Like, to me, this is their house. This is their space. This is not my space. I'm responsible for it, but this is their space. And so I'm knocking, and I learned that from the hoodoo man from Haiti. Every time he was like, when you go in, you knock. So sometimes I only got to go through. He was like, it's their space, right? You don't want to be rude going into their space. You knock. Just like when you bow. Sometimes you bow going into places. So it's just a form of respect. Can I have an altar somewhere else? So if y'all got any questions, please type it. You don't have to have your own. An altar doesn't have to have its own room. But no altars in the bedroom. No altars in your closets. No altars in the bathroom. No altars in the garage. These things I think everybody knows. But tonight I just wanted to re-emphasize the fact that your altar is a living entity. It can talk to you. It is a tool. It is one of the primary tools. I feel that like my altar can communicate with me anywhere I go. So for me, I may not, like, I don't have a portable. My portable altar is that thumb drive and my music. And so as soon as I plug in my music, my mind is in this room. My mind is with those deities up there, those ancestors right there, those ancestors on that lower row, the Jade Emperor over there, Ganesha over here, Hanuman over there, father and mother over here, Baba G over there. So, can you do more lives here? This is great. Oh, no, thank you. Like, this is their space. You never see me doing a live. You never see me doing a live in here. I'm not interested in publicizing. If I do a live in here, it'll be about altars and the mosquitoes. I would have done this outside, but the mosquitoes was outside, and they ran me from outside. So this is my private place. My private space is not for just folks to come in. This is the source of my power, though. I do say that. Like, this is it. And I've seen people stick their head in the door and not come in. And I feel that when people can't come into your altar space, that they're not supposed to be in there. And it's something on them, not your altar space. You should never be ashamed of your altar space. Your altar space is a part of family. I learned that from Jerry Miller. And you need to have also a statue that represents the Creator also. You need to have a statue that represents the Creator. Now, it doesn't have to be a person. It could be a horse on his hind leg. That could mean that to you. When I was making a decision, I had a Indian chief head, and he just looked so old and wise, and I was getting ready to be like, yo, I gotta like, that's him, because he's the chief. But I went another direction. I have a deity altar and an ancestor altar. Can I push the two tables I use together and make one altar, or should I leave them separate? You can make them together. You have to go up. That's why I'm telling you, you need this book right here, Discovering Your Spiritual Parents and Building Your Spiritual Altar, over at tybro.com. I'm highly recommending this book right here. Yeah, it's not, if you're looking down at your altar, then there go an issue. To me, like I said, when I went up, my energy went up. The gods are supposed to be over your head. So it's the gods are over your head, then the ancestors under them, then the food, water, offerings, and all that coming down like that. Like this altar runs from the floor all the way up. I'm 5'7". I'd imagine this altar is 6 feet tall. Right. I'm not looking the gods in their eyes. I tilt my chin to look up. And when I sit down, I'm looking even further up. And I'm cool with that. So, no. I mean, if you want to push them together, that's on you. That's fine. When I started, that doesn't mean that my altar wasn't working before I got this book or before this book was written. When I started, my altar was like when I sat down, it was even with me on the floor. When I sat on the floor, my altar was like even with me. I was looking like directly at them, maybe a little down. But when I came in, I was standing up. I would look down, but I would always get on my knees. I would always get down on my knees when I was in front of my altar. So if you're going to be a lot of standing, don't stand over the gods, okay? And like I said, just because you put a statue on your altar does not mean that they're going to show up, okay? It does not mean that they're going to just pop up and just be like, oh, check it out. Whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop. I'm here. No. Like they waiting to see, are you gonna put some work in, and do they deserve to come? Because they're not wasting their time to come to just be on there like you, like they are on your beck and call. So please get that correct, that they're not on your beck and call. All right, that when you just say do something, that they just gonna do it. I just go to the Jade Emperor. A lot of people don't have patience. Or you say, why isn't something working? Because you don't have the right intentions. Should I only worship the ones that showed up? I don't know what you mean by that. Yeah, I know people who have put up some banging altars. I'm talking about crispy, expensive, spared no expense, and their situation didn't change. Their situation changed a little bit. But from the power that you would think that was on there, the situation only changed a little bit. And they was like, but what's going on? Why isn't it changing no faster than this? Because they're not here. You got statues up. You're trying to get their attention. You need their attention so you can communicate with them. Okay? Remember, it's a communication device. If the person don't pick up the other line, though, there's no communication. Just because you got a switchboard don't mean they have to pick up. Okay? It's when they pick up that you start getting the power. Okay? Don't ask me how long it's going to take. It's going to take longer than you think. Or it might not. But it ain't going to be, I just set the altar up and I'm popping and I'm good. Don't think like that. Don't do that to yourself. Like, don't do that to yourself. Get some, when I had these too. I had these and the $10,000 bills. That's all I had. I know I may be rambling a bit, but that's how I do when I'm in here. This is what I started out with in burning ancestor money. But I used to watch a movie and roll these up for an hour, and then I roll these up for an hour. On your ancestor money, please use a red pen and write the name of who you're sending it to, just like a check. And you could write the name, on this before you fold it and give it to them. Okay. So these are flat bars. You can go look at the video on ancestormoney.info. If it has no writing on it, it's for the ancestors. If it has writing on it, it's for the gods. So these are for the ancestors, and these are for the ancestors. These are for the gods. At first, I didn't know, so all I had was just these right here. So, and then, yes, there is a way you can fold it, but it ain't mandatory. So don't keep saying, don't say too much. Don't keep getting caught up in what's, the mandatory. Ooh, I gotta do it like this. Please leave all the anxiety out. I may not come in here every day, but when I used to have anxiety because I didn't come into my altar room every day, that's when things got bad. Because then I just be like, oh, what's gonna happen when I come back? This might be my last point. And I can say this in front of them too, and I'm black. But your ancestors aren't human, and the gods aren't human, and they're not niggas. Like, niggas hold grudges. The word nigga comes not the racial slang, but the definition for nigger is ignorant and lazy. So a lot of people are lazy and ignorant because they ignore the facts, right? But the gods don't ignore the facts. They don't treat you or think like you do. They're having totally different experiences that you are having. And they can relate to you easier because they've had your experience, but you can't relate to them as easy because you haven't had their experience. All right? You haven't had their experience. So it's best for you not to think that you're talking to another human. Okay? They may have been in human form at one time, but right now they're not. And that's how you fold the ancestor bar, the gold bar. Okay? I know a lot of people just love getting the money. Just love, give me the money, give me the money, give me the money, give me the money. I got the 10,000s too. What are 10 years at? These, and I got the bigger ones over there too. But, like, what's the effort? Like, what's the fold? What's the design for the fold? How do you learn a little bit more about what you're contributing when you are in front of your altar? Like, what effort are you putting up? Like, are you putting a little pizzazz? Are you putting a little swagger there? Should I worship a God if they show up for me to see them? Worshiping gods and honoring gods. How do I feel about the word worship? I don't look at the word worship because a God doesn't need you to worship them. And now somebody can say, you splitting hairs now. I don't feel that the gods need worship. The gods don't need anything from you as a human, but to be honored. So it's an honor for a God to show up. He's not showing up for you just to grovel. See, the people with you coming from a Christian background and you start using the word, you have to leave a lot of things behind, when you start getting into this type of work. You can't just be bringing don't bring all that stuff to this next realm, man. Empty your cup of all of that. Why do the gods need to be worshipped? They need to be honored. It's an honor when a person of power comes to you to offer you help, then that's an honor. They're not coming to you so you could worship them. They're coming to assist you. But if you don't have an altar, it's tough for somebody. I would assume that you don't need my assistance. That's what I would assume. I'd be like, well, hey, you don't need no assistance. You don't have an altar up, so you don't need any assistance. What's up, Team Aries in Chicago? You don't need any assistance because you don't have an altar up, so you ain't trying to communicate with me. That's the message that's the indirect message I think people are sending when they say, oh, I need help, I need help. Well, how you going to get the communication for me to tell you what to do? For me to give you the insight? Think a little bit. That's why I say be mindful. Be mindful. How in the world can they get to you to give you the information that you're looking for, and you ain't got no way for them to pick up? You ain't got no cell phone. Jokers be killing me out in these streets talking about a cell phone. Cleon Burnett is in the building. Salute, soldier. So, what is an altar? An altar is a communication device for the highest of you. It is a living, breathing entity. The more you put into it, the more you get out of it. You don't put anything into it, you ain't gonna get much out of it. Them the facts. I guess I've been doing altar work, man, and it's okay if you don't know everything. And I don't know everything. You know, this is just me giving you feedback from being consistent. I'm not going to move somewhere and not going to have an altar. Oh man. So let me tell you this quick story. So when I moved to when I decided to move to Atlanta, I decided to move to Atlanta and didn't have a place to stay. All right. And my cousin was like, you can sleep on my couch until we find you a place. And I was like, because I was already here. I had already committed. You know, I didn't wait until I had a place to move, and my stuff was in storage, and I was letting the clock tick because I didn't want to pay that money in storage again. I don't know if you've ever been there. If you ever been there, press 1. Just let me see. So I was sleeping on the couch, and the only statue I had was a Lord Ganesha statue. I had got a Lord Ganesha statue from Jerry Miller, which is on my larger Ganesha altar. And you can have more than one altar too. This is just my main altar. So like I said, there's 6 altars in this room, and then it's a Goddess Fortuna altar, and it's a Ganesha altar in there. And then it's a common altar, which I call a common altar, right? So I set up a TV tray. A TV tray. You know the TV tray, like when you're eating dinner and you put the little tray in front of you and it's wood and it folds down, but then you fold it out and the legs open up like that at the bottom. Then it opens up and it's got the flat across the top. I got a TV tray, put Lord Ganesha on there. Excuse me, got a 7-day candle and a glass of water and some $10 million bills. I'm gonna keep some money on me. So I had some bills, but I won't even burn them. Some I would go outside and burn them sometimes, but I was trying not to run out. I was just like, just hold on to this, just hold on to this. But now I realize, burn it, man. Don't just sitting on the altar is one thing. Like I have some altars that have a lot of money sitting on it, but the money I'm always ready to burn some money. I have enough money where I'm not gonna run out if I just burn every day. I'm not worried about that. But burn the money and then get some more, man. Don't sit on it and just be like, oh, this is my last one. I can't burn this. But anyway, so, and I was asking Ganesha for a studio apartment. I'm talking about room, kitchen, bathroom. Not a 1-bedroom. I was asking for a studio apartment. And I just kept asking. I wanted a studio apartment. Everywhere I went, they was turning me down for all type of crazy reasons. And the place that didn't turn me down was in like, it was all kind of drug activity. And I was like, yo, I'm not staying in no trap zones anymore. I'm not trapping, so I'm not staying in any trap zone. Come home and I just be right. And I was sleeping beside Ganesha, and I was just like, man, because he was at the head of the couch, and I put an ad on Craigslist. Really, I wanted my sister to do it, and my sister wouldn't do it. And then I ended up putting an ad on Craigslist. Got the a lady hit me back the next day, and she was like, I have a little cottage, and I think it's exactly what you're looking for. And it was this house. And this house could be a 3-bedroom, 1 bath, but it's a 2-bedroom, 1 bath, living room, den, dining room, and a sunroom, and a front yard, and a back room. And I always give respect to Lord Ganesh, because he was the only person that I had out. That was the only thing I had out. He was on a tray. He was on a tray, bruh. He was on a tray. That's it. And he had a little glass of water and he had a 10-day candle, and he had an incense holder, and he had the money. So the money was the earth, the incense was the air, the candle was the fire, and the glass of water was the water. That was it. That was the altar. But it was the intent, yo. It was the intent. It was the intent to come and say, man, this is what I need, this is what I need, this is what I need, this is what I need. And I got something far greater than I needed. This window faces east. So when you're reading this book, it talks about, if you can, put your altar on an east-facing window. So when the sun comes up, my altar gets sunlight every day. My every day, even though there's trees in the backyard, it's coming through there, it's coming through them windows, and it's hitting and it's charging my altar every day. All right. I was in the dorms back in '95. I had a large brick, a white washcloth, draped it over the brick, had 7-day white candle and a glass of water. This is how it all started. I'm telling you, you got some of y'all done been there. I also want to recommend the Deity Linkage book by S. Ali Myers. I know it's backwards, but y'all in the subconscious community or whatever, y'all can reach out to S. Ali Myers and have him let you know Deity Linkage. This one is about how to find your gods and goddesses using numerology. All right. So this one is another different technique that Dr. Gibson has in here, and about your altar. This one has a little bit about your altar on page 56. This one is kind of like more dedicated to it. Can't lose with these right here. All right. Yeah, that's my story, man. I hope this has been helpful. If anybody has any questions, please let it be known right now, because I'm about to go take a shower and wash my hair. Yes, it's been a good day. Also, I like to put, this is one of my theories. I call it the 3-10 theory. I write a list of 10 things out I need. Whether it's physical or mental, I put 10 things out that I need. And I sit in here and tell them about what I need. Like, they know what I need. Like, there's no lying in here. There's no holding back. There's no me being ashamed to talk to anyone. Like, this is where I let it out at. I cry in here. I yell in here. I make noises in here. I've slept in here too. Woo! Sleeping here is on some other, is just a whole nother experience on this hard floor. And like, I had, man, so many, I could just do altar room storytelling day. Crystal's like, just do it. I'm good. But anyway, write 10 things down on your list, and then pick 3 things that you want to do. But leave the 7 big things to God. I leave the 7 big things to my ancestors, to the gods. And I say, I need y'all to handle this. And I go do the small things. Yep. That's just how I do it. So, I definitely appreciate everybody for tuning in to Zoom in. On a scale of 1 to 10, was this helpful? 1, you just like, whatever. And 10, it was really helpful. And please share it. If you are on my main page, you can share it. If you're in Tybro Astrologia, this was kind of like for y'all, but I wanted to share it out to the public as well. So I got 2 cameras set up. So if you're on my main page and you want to share this, please share it. If you're in Tybro, just check it out, just watch it. And thank you for tuning in. Appreciate it. And I'll see y'all in 17 days? Yeah, on the 19th, baby. Also, please stay inside. No ritual work on this eclipse. And it's going to be an eclipse with a Mercury retrograde popping off. Ooh-wee. Whole nother conversation. All right. So, thank you so much. Appreciate it, Chanel. Thanks, Crystal. Thanks, Tutu. Thanks, Doris. Thanks, everybody. All right. So, Coach is getting ready to sign out. And me and the gods I represent, because also I'm their representative here in this plane. That's another thing about my altar. Like, who do I represent? Anytime I think about integrity and quality, I go back to my altar. Like, this is what I'm representing. Lord Krishna, Ma'at, Medicine Buddha, the Creator, which is the Aset statue, Toph, Saraswati, Kuan Yin, Lord Buddha. Am I missing anybody? Oh, and Lakshmi. I just got a Lakshmi statue. She's the most recent addition. And then I also have Hanuman over here, another Saraswati, another Krishna. I have Maximum right here. I'm trying to get Maximum to smoke a cigarette. I need another lighter. It's okay. Appreciate it, and I'll check in with y'all soon. Inabako Kijalaki Menka, Tatia Tezara, Kabel Renat, Amcha Sai Vanu, Tahara Munara, Nagibu, the Shea Kadeka, Kababai Shama, Barkum Tyron, Rakameda, Zika Taken, Tamid Gaman, Kasim Kadosh, Baru Tufka, Nahel Adateka, Yakit Gahe, Lam Champanez, Okreka Tuska Teka, Shavatanu Kabel, Ushma, Dezakatanu, Yadea Talamo, Bruksham, Kavumakuto, Alam Vae. Peace.